guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a one brand tutorial, well kind of, with Sonia Kashuk. I'm putting my e.l.f. Cosmetics eye primer all over my eyeballs, and I'm just going to get it all spread out all over my eyes. And then I'm going into the Bazaar Spice Market Color Palette. I talked about this in my last video. If you'd like to see that, I'll have the video linked down below. I'm taking the brightest shade. This is a white sparkly shade. I'm putting that on my eye. And then I realized I actually wanted to go into the Cream Shadow by Sonia Kashuk. This is the Moonstone color. It's number 3. It's a pearlescent longwear cream shadow. I also talked about this in my previous video, so yeah, check that video out. I'm listening to music, that's why my mouth is moving in this video. So I'm just putting that all over my eyes. And I will be only showing one side of my face for everything, just so you guys know and you're not weirded out. I don't know why it would be weird. Anyways, I'm going into that pink shade. It's a matte pink shade. I'm just putting that all into my crease as a transition color. And I'm using my Crease Brush from e.l.f. to put that color into my crease. Then I'm going into the darker shade. This is a kind of purple and I don't know how to describe it, but it is sparkly. And I'm just putting that in my outer corner. And then I'm going in with my e.l.f. blending brush and I'm just blending the colors. I want it to look seamless, not too choppy, as I always say. And then I'm taking that matte purplish color and I'm putting that on the lash line to smoke it out. Just make it look nice and smoky underneath. And then I took some of that white shade and I put it on the middle of my eye to draw the light in, and then I'm blending out the just everywhere basically, just to make sure that everything looks nice. And that is my Flawless Concealer brush, and I'm just blending everything out even more. I'm telling you guys, there's power in blending. So next I'm taking my Retractable NYX liner and I'm just lining the tight line, the lash line, making sure to go ahead and line my eyes. I'm just creating a little baby wing. I believe I showed you how I line my eyes in a previous video in my Makeup Geek video. The only problem with this particular eyeliner is that it kind of tugs a little bit at my skin, so the line is not very even, and that's been a problem lately, so I may have to go back to using a cream liner, which is unfortunate because I really like this liner. I feel like this liner is just really perfect for tight line and the waterline. It stays pretty much all day as far as I can remember. Next I'm taking my small smudge brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to smudge out the liner, and the reason why I do this is, like I said, when I'm using the liner it doesn't create a perfect line, so I have to correct it a little bit. Next I'm going into my 3x Extreme Volume from City Colors. This is an amazing mascara, and then I'm going over with my e.l.f. mascara, the Volumizing Mascara, and doing 2 layers. This concealer is from Natural and Organic. It's in the shade Flawless. Love it so much. I got this as a sample from Birchbox. Next I'm going into my Sonia Kashuk foundation. This is a stick foundation and it's in the shade Almond. A Target worker had recommended that I use this as a subtle highlight, so that's what I've used it for, and it seems to really work. I am blending this out with the pointed foundation brush from e.l.f. For bronzer, I went into this Sonia Kashuk Warm Tan Undetectable Cream Bronzer, and you're going to see the progression in a little bit. I think I should have put on a little bit more bronzer. It looks very orangey right here. Maybe I have the wrong shade. I'm a little bit disappointed how it initially turned out. As you'll see later on, I think it works out just fine. I'm just putting that all over the perimeter of my face, a little bit higher than where I would contour. And then I took my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 35 Deep, and I'm using this as my contour today. I'm just blending that in with a sponge. This is the same sponge I used for my bronzer. I'm just going over the perimeter of my face as well, giving it a little more shape. The foundation I'm using today is the Clinique Even Better foundation. This has an SPF 15, and the shade I'm in is Alabaster. I think it's the lightest shade in the range. Kind of crazy. But I'm just putting this all over my face, and you'll just notice in a moment that the foundation right here kind of weakens the crazy look of the bronzer and the contour. So if that's not what you're going for, then you probably want to put foundation first and then contour and bronze. But I was grateful that it kind of lessened the look of the bronzer because the bronzer looked kind of cray-cray. To powder my face, I'm using my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is in the shade Creamy Natural. And I'm using my sponge, a different sponge, and I'm just patting this powder all over my face. The sponge really helps with regulating how much powder goes on my face. Because my face is so dry, I really don't need that much powder. I just need enough to set my foundation into where it needs to be, make sure the foundation stays all day. I'm taking my e.l.f. blush brush and then I'm tapping into the very light blush. It's a neutral pink color and I'm patting that on my cheeks and making sure that it gets to the apples. And this color didn't really show up, so I went into the darker pink. It is more of a true pink color. It has slight purple tone to it, but not too much. So I'm just putting that on my cheek, and then I blended it out with my flat powder brush from e.l.f. just to make sure everything was blended. To highlight, I grabbed my Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Rose Champagne. At first I used the little contour brush, but instead I went with my blush brush from e.l.f. That showed up pretty nicely. Next I used the Queen of the Fill Brow by Elizabeth Mott, and I filled in my brows. This is in medium dark, I believe. This is probably my holy grail for brows. The last thing that I did was my lips, and I started off with the NYX Butter Lipstick in Pops Explosive. This is a warm rose color. I've had this a couple of years. I got this in my Ipsy glam bag back when I had my Ipsy subscription. This is so comfortable to wear and the color is beautiful. It's not a liquid lipstick, so if I eat anything, then, you know, it'll come off a little bit. And then I topped it off with the Sonia Kashuk lip color. This is the Grand Bazaar collection, and this is in the color Blush Wine. It says it's a liquid lip, but literally it's a lip gloss. This is more of a cool rose color. It kind of goes along with the palettes. And then I felt like a few blends needed to be added at the very end. So this is the completed look, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed filming it. I enjoy this look. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I'll talk to you later. Bye!